Really?
If I lived in Alaska, that'd be nice.
I wouldn't mind Alaska. Maybe
There's nothing up
I don't
there.
know. Exactly. Solitary, dude.
Yeah, Minnesota doesn't have the solitariness. Oh, well, it does if you go up north.
There's
But,
like 15 people in Minnesota?
No, there's like 4.7 million alone in the Twin Cities.
And that's where everybody is. Minnesota's
Pretty
a
much.
big state.
Yeah, it's a big
Inhabited by
fucker.
many Minnesotans.
But that's why it's called Southern Canada, because you go north of the Twin Cities and there is nothing. All trees.
And I like trees.
Hey, we're live, by the way.
Yay!
Hi, everybody.
We're back, unfortunately. Fortunately.
We're back, but we're half-staffed.
Well, that's because somebody forgot to zip up.
It would appear that let's say Wolfie is doing other things, family stuff, and Alistair has massive thunderstorms right now.
Yeah, well, it's all that rage he's got. It's finally let loose.
Here we go. But oh, what was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna do this. Man, I got 3 screens now, and it's freaking me out. So I'm like, where's my stuff? Let's do this, and then we'll be right back.
Following podcast is intended for mature audiences. The opinions expressed do not reflect this station or any affiliated partners. Listener discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geek EZ.
And we're back. Does this mean if Badger's going to be on the show all the time, I have to make an animated Badger?
Maybe.
I'll be on
with the top
every
hat.
other Wednesday.
Yeah, I guess. I'm going to have to include you in there because the animated stuff that is in the works right now, which I know I've been talking about this forever, but as you can see, we actually have us. And right now, it's now dealing us how we're going to do these kind of things. But I guess I got to do Badger. So.
Oh, man. Did you ask permission before you do Badger?
Oh, dear.
Did I what?
I mean, he said he was going to do Badger. I mean, that is, taking you to dinner
Right in the
first,
gutter.
anything?
Right in the gutter.
PG-13, buddy.
What? No, this is legit. I mean, this is kind of a social issue. People aren't just asking permission or anything. You're just going to do it? Come on, man. You got to at least take them out. And that could mean either, take them out to dinner or kill them.
I mean, I do like to be romanced.
See, badgers like romance. What do badgers eat?
Yes.
Grubs.
Yes.
Well, in other news, am I the only one that liked the Shazam trailer?
I didn't.
No,
really
I liked
watch
it.
I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, this is perfect. It's the big red cheese.
I'm optimistic about the actor they chose for Shazam himself. I mean, he's a goofball. He's always been a goofball, and I think he's going to be a great character to play it. I feel the same way about him that I did with Henry Cavill when they chose him as Superman. I'm like, he doesn't really look the part, but then once you started seeing trailers and seeing him in the suit and everything, you're like, oh, yep, he's Superman.
Actually, I can prove that Henry Cavill looks like Superman. I was actually reading an older book from, I think in 2002, 2003, and whoever the artist was drew Henry Cavill. Over and over and over. I'm like, my God, this dude, it's like he was foreshadowing the casting. And I thought Cavill was perfect. I was like, holy.
Oh yeah, he was fantastic. I mean,
I thought the casting just visually was perfect.
And honestly, I feel the same way about Gal Gadot when they chose her for Wonder Woman. I'm like,
oh yeah,
really her? I'm like, and I don't know, she just didn't look the part. But then once she was in the movie, you're like, yep, she fits. That's it. She's good. I'll roll with it.
Nah, I was behind Gadot, or Gadot. It's Gal Gadot. It's not Gal Gadot. She's not French. She's Israeli. And I was behind it. Again, I was behind her the whole... Well, that sounds so bad.
You
I was
should stop
behind her
getting from
casting.
behind her, man. That's
Yes.
nice.
I was behind her casting. I was like, yeah, all right, let's go. I mean, because she looked Mediterranean, and that was the one thing I was like, oh, they got to get it. They can't go find some moon face or pie face or whatever. They have to find a Mediterranean looking woman, and they found one. I was like, yep, there she is. It's Wonder Woman. And yeah, once I saw the actual of her in costume, I was like, yeah, that's Wonder Woman.
Yep.
But
And
no,
she fit.
when it, yeah, the Shazam. I mean, the only thing that bothers me is those shoulder pads. The only thing that bothers me, they just look overdone. But
Yeah.
everything else.
Shoulder pads. Yeah, that's another topic we can get into, but that's later.
Mm-hmm. But I
Well-
mean, I know Wolfie had brought this up in the Facebook chat that we had. That he wasn't. It's like I know Alistair said it was kind of what was the word? Cringy.
Yes.
Now, in every media form, aside from the established comics and even the old TV show, he was always portrayed as a young boy in a man's body, and that is exactly where I would hope they would go.
Well, it makes sense. His mind hasn't changed. Just his physical form has.
I was very impressed with the trailer. I'm really
As Wolfie did
optimistic
put,
about it.
he's supposed to have Solomon's wisdom. That is part of the Shazam, and
But that doesn't give you the knowledge of how to be an adult. It just makes you wise. You're able to think. I suppose think kind of critically on situations rather than just going off off the cuff. But he's still a kid, and he still doesn't have that experience. So yeah, it makes sense that he acts like a goofball. Did we lose everybody?
no, I'm here.
No, okay. I
Now,
wasn't sure.
no, I mean, the costume, just the full cheese aspect of it. It's what DC needs. It needs a shot in the arm of ha ha, and I think this will be the perfect ha ha to go right alongside the. Holy crap! Did you see Aquaman?
I did
Yes. Oh my God.
Dude, the Aquaman.
Oh.
I
don't think I've ever been more excited for Aquaman in my entire life.
Yes, it is about blasted time. And as much as of all the casting, I was like, really, Momoa as Aquaman?
not. Momoa is great.
Yeah.
He is Aquaman.
He owns that role. Even when he was just in Justice League for the appearance. I mean, he blew it out of the water. Like, sorry for the pun, but he did. It was fantastic. He did. I can't even describe how I felt about it. He did a fantastic job. He revitalized a character that many people joke about. He can talk to fish. Oh, he can swim. Okay,
and we've talked about that. It's because Super Friends has managed to plant that in our heads. Whereas
Exactly.
we see Aquaman in the animated series. Oh my God, that guy is not the Super Friends Aquaman.
No. This is the badass Aquaman, and this is what I'm.
This is the Aquaman that can go toe to toe with Wonder Woman, Superman, and hold his own.
Exactly.
This is the Aquaman that lifts a nuclear sub out of the ocean.
Yes, this is now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is December, correct?
Yes, December.
I am hyper excited about it.
Yep.
I live literally a 5-minute walk away from an AMC theater, and I'm going to watch it at midnight in a reclining chair.
Nice. Those are
I
comfortable.
am super hyped for Aquaman. I love Jason Momoa. He's always been a fantastic actor. Every now and then, every actor has a movie that you're just like, oh, really? Come on. But he's nailed almost every single role he's been in.
When I saw him in Game of Thrones, it's like, holy crap, he's got that. And then I saw him in the Conan film, and it's like, people should watch this film. It's actually really damn good.
Yeah, Conan was really good. And I'm more surprised that it didn't do as well as people thought it would.
It's because it's not Arnold. Everybody was so Arnold ingrained when it came to Conan, and because it wasn't Arnold's Conan, a lot of people poo-pooed it. It was a good film.
Well, it's kind of like
Kind
Solo.
of generic, but it was a good film.
Well, it's also like Solo, though. Well, it's not Harrison Ford. Though Solo had other issues. Not very good PR work.
True. And honestly, they rushed it. They should have waited till December for that. But knowing it was going to go up against Aquaman and a few others, they were like, oh, no, we'll just bring it out in May. Lucasfilm wanted it in December.
They should have kept it in December.
Yep. Had they waited till December, it probably would have done a lot better.
Yeah, most likely just because people would have been, more ready because, would have calmed down from the whole, Last Jedi and all that good stuff. It was too close.
Yes.
Yeah, and I still haven't seen it yet. I it's been completely ruined, so I already know everything that happens, but I still have not physically watched it yet.
So you know Dumbledore dies.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Damn it, you took my joke. Jerk.
Oh, but yeah, the Aquaman trailer. Now, while as both the Aquaman and the Shazam trailers were like, yeah, first came the Titans trailer, which made me go, oh, please, why are you doing this?
I can't even. I can't even.
For all the good that Aquaman looks and Shazam looks, the Titans show just,
Yeah, I can't do it. I won't even watch the pilot.
Nope.
I refuse. Because
if you're gonna pirate something,
that bad.
that's the thing to pirate.
Not even. That's not even worth my bandwidth.
It really wasn't. I mean, let's see. The idea of taking Dick Grayson, who of all the Robins there have been, would be the first one not to pick up a gun and shoot somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
as you go down the line of Robins, they're more likely.
Jason Todd, most definitely.
Oh yeah.
Damian Wayne,
without
a doubt.
Thought. He's got one in his back pocket.
So
he prefers swords.
He does prefer swords. But they took Dick Grayson and turned him into a douchebag.
And then Raven is seeking Dick Grayson to help control her powers. Why would you go to...
I explained this, actually, because arguably, I'm not talking about just within that show or whatever, but within that whole universe, Dick Grayson would actually be a perfect person to go to because he's got discipline from Batman. He's been well trained on this. He can show somebody else how to discipline their minds and so on. Can he show them how to use your powers in fancy new ways? No, that's not what's needed. What's needed is discipline.
But Constantine would have been a better choice for her to go to. He's more supernatural. But
Constantine don't give no flux.
True. Oh, there's
capacitors.
Nope, I said flux.
He said flux.
No, I don't know.
There was an L in there.
Anyway,
Dick Grayson doesn't care about dropping those.
And I'm sorry, the person they chose for Starfire, no.
Just Starfire and Beast Boy looked fine. But
Beast Boy looked alright. And I'm okay with the way Raven looks.
Yeah, Raven, that's cool. It's like, but Starfire just...
They all looked fine except for Starfire. I don't like...
edge to the show is wrong.
Yes, it's not dark and gritty. Teen Titans is not dark and gritty, except for part of Raven's storylines. But, Teen Titans is about coming of age of a group of heroes that, they were tired of living in the shadow of other people, so they formed their own group, under Dick Grayson. Now, I don't know the original history of Teen Titans, but it was more of, hey, we don't need, the bigger heroes. We can take care of this ourselves. Kind of like Young Justice is very similar in that style. Is that it was, we're tired of living under the hero's shadow. We're going to form our own group. We can do this without them. We don't need them.
I think the way things have turned out is that now Teen Titans is like the go-between, the follow-ups to Justice League, and then Young Justice is below them.
Yeah.
At least that's kind of how it's always pictured in my mind from the comics anyway. I think when you look like the animated side of things, there is no Teen Titans. It is Young Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Young Justice, while being, what's the word I'm looking for? A mature show, was not dark and gritty.
no, but it was more like teenage oriented.
Yeah.
Like it was more geared towards teenagers, whereas Teen Titans was more like maybe 10 to 13, whereas Young Justice was more like 14 to 17, even though I was a 20-something-year-old watching Young Justice. But still.
Well, that's just it. I mean, I have no idea what teenagers are like nowadays. I don't know the audience because
Just wait a little while, you'll know.
Yeah, I know. I will know in a little bit. But I am 30 years removed from being a 15-year-old kid. So I don't know. Now, again, if I was a parent, and a parent that actually looked out after what my kids watched and heard and tried to be a parent, if you're gearing this towards adults, that's fine. But if you're aiming for your core, again, this is what I don't understand this necessity to just lambaste kids. I realize they're going to hear it out there, and kids say and do things. I realize I was a teenager too. I know what I said and did. But
And heard.
Exactly. I know what I heard, said, and did. But when you're sitting, it's like there's a point where it's like either you need to learn how to write and get around the use of certain things like this. Now, I get that line. The F Batman line was more to show he's just over being in Bruce's shadow. Problem is, even at Dick Grayson's worst, I don't think he ever cursed Batman out.
No, because he actually looks up to Batman.
It's his father.
He looks up to him, but he is, like you said, he is tired of living in his shadow. And for a while, things were extremely tense between the two. They didn't want to talk to each other. They didn't want to do anything with each other. He literally, he didn't despise him, but he what's the word? He the best way I can put it is he hated living in his shadow. And he wanted to make a name for himself. That's why he moved to Bloodhaven. And Dick Grayson, they kind of have a love-hate. I don't want to say love-hate relationship. More like a, I'll help you out, when you need it. But
They just came to an understanding.
Yeah, over the years, after years and years went by, they got closer again. So it evened itself out. In the comics, for a while when he first broke off, they really did not like each other at all. But
True.
Then, over the years, in the 2000s and 2010s, they grew back together again. So it was more of a, I'm an angsty teen, I want to go do my own thing, Dad. And then he turns 20 and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Dad, you were right. That sort of thing.
Yeah, now, I mean, just in general, just when it comes to TV shows and things that the aspect of having to be edgy for the sake of being edgy, and it's the shock value of, hey, look, instead of giving people a good story or something or anything, they always start off with I was amazed when I was like flipping through channels and I didn't even know the Paramount Network existed. This Yellowstone show that's on, they're dropping F-bombs left and right. There's naked boobies all over the place. And I'm like, this is on regular cable? I was like, okay. It's critically acclaimed. I guess the story is really good. But I mean, from what I saw of it, it was all gratuitous. There was no reason for this chick to be naked. Yet there she was, naked. I was like, okay, so no one saw that as gratuitous. But, so what?
So did you happen to see the trailer for the next Godzilla?
I did.
And I still don't understand anything going on in it.
Godzilla.
I'm so excited.
Godzilla, you never understand. Just enjoy it.
Exactly.
I'm fine with that.
When you go into a Godzilla film, don't
Go to the Godzilla film.
let things happen. Just let things happen. Just let things happen and enjoy the mindless mindless destruction. Kind of like Pacific Rim. Just go in there and not giving a shit about what's going on.
Unlike Pacific Rim, which needed the human element to it, Godzilla films don't need the people.
Don't.
They
But
really
that's the
never do.
whole point. Watching that trailer, it was the crazy mother who was trying to unleash these things on the planet. Again, it seems to be revolving around her, and the bat monsters are just background filler again. It's the problem with the first one.
No, the first one was great. I enjoyed the hell out of it. The mother wasn't really involved.
She wasn't in it.
That's the point.
Yeah,
Well-
but no. But again, they relied to. There was not enough monster in that monster movie.
That's because they don't want to show you too much.
We
Like,
better
we
get
know
a whole lot of
Mothra-
monster on monster action going on.
Okay, so in King of Monsters, you had Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Godzilla.
Ghidra.
So originally, Ghidra, whatever, all four fought each other, and then eventually Mothra, Rodan, and Godzilla decided, okay, King Ghidра's, he's too powerful. We got to take him out together. So they form a band and they take him out. But no, anybody correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been about maybe 15 years since I saw it. But to me, it was one of my favorites. And if I remember it correctly, it was really good. But, like I said, Godzilla, you got to go into it with the mindset of you don't really need to know the story, just watch the damn movie. It's good.
Well, yeah. Believe me, will I go see it? Oh, yes, I'm going to go see it. It's a Godzilla movie.
No, I need to talk about something that got me really excited.
Need to calm down
Star
there,
Wars, The Clone Wars is coming back.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you already know it's going to be on Disney XD, and so I can't see it.
I don't care. I'm going to find a way to watch it.
Hello, Master. Oh! So I'm guessing a few years have passed.
I think, no, they're taking place. They're finishing the original final season. And I think they're going to continue 2 more seasons, and I think that's going to be it.
Wow, that's actually going longer than the Clone Wars should have. Kind of like that.
Yes.
It's already
because-
gone longer than Clone Wars, because the
No.
Clone Wars only lasts like 2 years.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard from someone, I haven't read this, but from what I heard, that they had the next 2 seasons were written. They had the scripts for all next 2 seasons, but they just never got around to filming anything. So, from what I understand, they want to finish it. They want to finish it kind of like they did with Samurai Jack. They want to finish it. And this is going to be its send-off.
And what was it? It was Lucasfilm turned to everyone and says, "Okay, how do we reunite the fandom?" And Dave Filoni goes, "Here, hold my beer."
Exactly. Okay, now, Star Trek Discovery Season 2.
Meh.
I cannot wait.
It's more shoot 'em ups.
I don't care.
I think Jonathan Frakes has been part of that. He's been tweeting photos like, "Guess where I am?" And you're looking at
That was
things
Orville.
around him. That was Orville?
That was the Orville.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like,
Oh, I do believe Frakes
Discovery
is
one.
involved. But you know what? I sat there and everybody's like, "Oh, it looks so great," and it's just another shoot 'em up. It's another season of things blowing up and laser beams. I get it. It's again, I get the idea that we've moved past the era of Next Generation and TOS, and once we got into Deep Space Nine, everything was shoot 'em up, 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 blow things up, shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up, shoot 'em up. It's like I would hate to live in a future where everything was constantly blowing up.
But they were at war.
Who was
In
the first
Discovery,
season.
The first
in the
season.
first season?
Can we move beyond that
Yeah.
now? Go back to the exploration part?
Guess not.
Maybe they'll have that. Maybe just the trailer showed all the blowing up parts.
That storyline seemed to
summarize?
be that the storyline seemed to be there was a new threat on the horizon, and that's from what I got from the trailer was there was a new threat, and we have to take on this new threat, and the Enterprise and Discovery have to go take on this new threat. I was like, oh, here we go, more threats.
Now, I will agree with you, yes. And counterpoint, Star Trek's always had threats. Not to this degree, but they have always had threats, if you set DS9 aside. TNG had the Borg. It was, once in a while you had the Borg show up. But TNG was more of, it was Star Trek.
Intellectual sci-fi.
Yes, it was, let's go out there and see what's out there and figure out the enemy of the day, or the issue of the day.
Yes.
Whereas DS9 was more kind of a storytelling.
It was a soap opera.
It was a soap opera detailing war. The effects of war.
But still explored things.
Exactly.
Social issues. Touched a little bit on how religion kind of.
And Discovery does
that.
Yeah, in DS9 didn't focus on any one character like Discovery does now, which I know they said they want to take a different approach to it, which is fine. But where DS9 shined in that sort of situation where it was constant chaos is every character had an episode. Every character, every actor, even, the one who played, what's his name? Garrick. Garrick always had episodes. He had episodes where it was mostly about him or his history, and he was a guest star usually. Now, they even had a couple with Benjamin Sisko's son.
Or,
like I said, it wasn't always just about one character. It wasn't always just about the captain. And that's what made Star Trek good, is because you got to see different people's points of view during the Dominion War. It wasn't just one person's point of view or someone, detailing every single bit of a war, and that's all you see is mostly them. And that's where I think Star Trek shines, is where it shows the entire cast, where I think Voyager kind of slipped behind on that.
Firefly just mentioned Lower Decks from TNG, one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, fantastic episode. And
I don't recall what was in that one.
Isn't that the one? That's the one where Leto dies, right?
I think so. Yeah.
The young Bajoran.
Yeah.
The ensign. Yes.
But and that's like I said, that's where Star Trek shines, is where they show different people's struggles throughout. You get character development. You get the history of all these characters. You get, and that's to me what made DS9 my favorite. It had the character depth. It made you love several different characters. You knew every background of every character, like by season 5, and you're like, oh, how are they going to react to this situation? They're pitting different characters together and whatever.
And you also had a lot of the things that make it interesting. You had the big space battles and and various things that you have never seen before because either budget or wasn't appropriate.
Yeah, one episode
Discovery's only 2 seasons in, but in that whole first season, nobody was developed.
That is true.
Yeah, they did a little bit with Burnham, but not as much as they probably could have and should have.
And to be perfectly honest, if you're going to have a main character, I get the whole flawed main character, Bruce flawed. But she's just not a likable person. It's like a lot. You want if you're going to just center a show around somebody, you want somebody that people can relate to or at least empathize with. And you know what? I would shoot her out an airlock the first chance I got. Because she's just not a likable character. Now, Saru, love Saru. Got to give me some more Saru.
Exactly.
I need to know more about the Kelpians. I want to know more about Saru. I want to know more about the redhead chick and then the robot chick. I want to know about them. Listen to me, I sound so sexist. The chick. And they were just props in the whole first season. We got to know Tilly. Ooh, Tilly. Let's put one more annoying character. If they give us an episode where it's just Tilly, I think I'm gonna smash my hands through my computer. Oh, because it's seriously, that's like the person that if you're out hanging at a bar and it's that one friend you bring along just because, and they won't shut up. And it's and you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna go outside and have a smoke. But you don't smoke. I'm just gonna go have one anyway.
But maybe that's part of the character development. Maybe they'll expand on that and
I hope so.
Calm her down maybe a little bit. But and that's the thing, is Star Trek has always had a wide range of characters, a wide range of different characteristics of everyone. You have the annoying crew member like
Chekhov.
Tilly. Or Chekhov, or you have the kind of introverted, I'm just here to do my job, like Harry Kim on Voyager, or you have
the 7-year ensign.
Yeah, a 7-year ensign.
It was 12 years an ensign. Oh,
yep.
Kim actually got more development over the course of the.
But he was always an ensign. He never got promoted. That poor bastard.
Even Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Jeez. Tom Paris. Tom Paris had more promotions and demotions in 7 years than Harry Kimmins had in 7 years. It was.
I mean, field promotions are allowed, are they not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they did it to Tom Paris.
Wesley.
Yeah,
He
Wesley.
got made in
Shut up.
ensign.
They did it to. Didn't they do it to Riker in one episode too?
Temporarily.
Temporarily,
Well, yeah.
he was promoted to captain. A couple of times, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now, see,
Acting
again,
captain.
will I watch the second season? Sure, I'll watch the second season because I really enjoyed the last 4 episodes of the first season. Really enjoyed them. And to be perfectly honest, when it comes to characters that I could actually like, Saru and what's the engineer's name?
Stamets.
Stamets. I actually started to enjoy his character, not because he was the only one who actually kind of softened up throughout the show, and it was like, okay, it's like Saru and Stanitz, what is it?
Stamets.
Okay,
That guy.
but it was like Giorgio for me. I was like, oh, I love this character already. I really enjoy this captain, and she's dead. So it was like, really. And then it was there was nobody else that got anything. I mean, there was so much. They're in the cast list, yet they're just set dressing. And it was like, I mean, even all the other shows, all of them, whether it was from the TOS all the way to Enterprise, within the first 5-6 episodes of their seasons, they introduced everybody. You got to know these characters a little bit. Within, it was like you knew Spock, you knew McCoy, you knew Uhura, you knew Sulu, you knew these guys, you knew who they were. And the Next Generation was really good for that one. You knew who everyone was. I mean, they jumped right in. It was like, okay, this is this, and this is that. Deep Space Nine, it took a while. I mean, and Voyager was the same way. You introduced the characters, you got to know the characters. So by 5 episodes in, first off, you could name everybody. I can't name anybody but Burnham and Saru. I don't know anybody else's name.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I knew who Commander Riker was. I knew Data. I knew Geordi. All by the 4th or 5th episode, I could tell you who these characters were. I could not tell you who that, aside from those 2 characters on Discovery and Giorgio, who they are. I can't even remember the name of the big baddie. What was his name?
Kuvma. Oh, wait, he died.
Not the Klingon, the human.
Ash Tyler.
No, the other one. The captain.
Yeah, him. I can't remember his name either.
There's a problem there. It's like Star Trek should be
Captain Lorca.
Lorca. Yeah, there you go. There should be you should be able to remember them.
Well, and that's the thing is, he played a very good captain, I think, even though he was Mirror Universe. Spoilers, but and I was disappointed that he only lasted 1 season.
I know we're
Because
past the statute of limitations on spoilers. 5 weeks have passed. We're good.
But here's the thing: I would have liked to have seen him stay on for a little bit longer. I liked his character. The longer he was on the show, the more I liked him.
That doesn't mean they won't bring the Prime Universe one in. Exactly,
and he could have survived the attack that they mentioned, and that's always possibility. And that's the thing is I love Star Trek. I love the universe, no matter what universe it is, whether it's JJ Trek or it's Prime Timeline or whatever. I love all of it, and I'll watch all of it. If it says Star Trek, I'll still watch it, because to me, Star Trek is not about. It's not about just a sci-fi TV show to watch and whatever. It means something to a lot of people, and a lot of people love it. It's an optimistic view, and
problem is there's not a lot of optimism in Discovery.
And that you're right, and that's the thing that kind of irks me just a little bit, because like I said, I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but it's just like DS9. They had character development for every character. TNG had development for almost every character. It was kind of Picard-centric at times, but they had development for almost every single character. You had
They also had 7
even
years.
yeah, even in the first seasons on all these shows.
Yeah.
I mean, the original series didn't have any character development at all, except for Kirk, Picard, and McCoy. Or Picard, Jesus. Kirk,
Yeah, but you still
Spock, and
knew
McCoy.
about these characters.
You did, but you didn't learn a whole lot.
No.
We didn't learn a whole lot about, Uhura or Sulu, or even Chekhov for that matter, who was only on for like one season.
Yes.
You didn't get to know their background. You didn't get to see how they got where they are. How did they get to serve on the best, the flagship of the Federation? But whereas you go to Voyager and it was kind of, it started off with a lot of character development for almost every character, and then you got 7 of 9, and it was Star Trek 7 of 9.
Yes.
And it got annoying fast. So you have that element from kind of Voyager where you have, this is a flashy person, so we're going to kind of focus on this person. And I'm hoping they change that in season 2, where they kind of focus on the crew. Every single, the two gals at the helm and Khan. I want to know more about them. I want to know more about, Stamets. I really want to know more about Stamets because he seems like a really fun character. And I really hope that for season 2, they really pull out all the stops on every character get an episode. Like I said, even Saru, fantastic character. I was very leery about what they were adding to the canon. I'm like, okay, how's this going to work? And by the end of the first season, I loved Saru. I loved the Kelpians. I want to know more. I hope they bring them into the fold and show more about them. I would really like them to kind of go to the core of what Trek is too, and bring out more Andorians, bring out more, kind of like what Enterprise did. I do like Enterprise. I like they dealt more with the Vulcans and Andorians and the, what were the short guys again? Holy crap.
Tellarites.
Tellarites, yes, the Tellarites. The founding members of the Federation. That was awesome. And that's why I actually really liked Enterprise, because they showed how all 4 races really didn't get along, but they found a way to get along.
And you know what?
It was
even
awesome.
Now I will say, Enterprise was darker than the other series. It was even,
Mhm.
it was darker than Deep Space Nine at times, but there was still that light at the end of the tunnel. Whereas it's like, okay, so we shoot forward, 75 years for Discovery? 100 years? Is that how far ahead it is?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Approximately.
We shoot forward, and we're now at a... to be perfectly honest, the way they portrayed the Federation kind of irks me. I was like, okay. The feeling was it was very heavy-handed. At least Starfleet was. Now, I get it that they were in a war with the Klingons and that kind of stuff, but there just seemed to be... I don't know. It just felt off. I don't know. We'll see where they go. I am very much looking forward to seeing the Enterprise. What's his name is Pike. I think that's. He looks really
Anson
good. I
Mount.
love the new uniforms. Yes, I love those uniforms.
Those
I think that
uniforms
is
are pretty
great
nice.
updating. Yes, it's a nice updating.
I'm hoping that what they decide to do is decide, okay, well, we just got done with a small war with the Klingons. I shouldn't say small because it took out most of the Federation. But I hope what they end up doing is going forward with, okay, we're all about peace now, and we're gonna we're gonna change things. We're gonna change the way we go about diplomatic solutions, and I really hope that's what they do, so that they kind of get to that point where TOS was, where you rarely ever heard anything about the Romulans, you rarely heard anything about the Klingons except for in small little spats, but that was the original series. It was more about exploration. I hope Discovery can get to that point where, like, okay, we're recovering from a war, let's now go explore. You know what I mean?
And Star Trek the original series and the Next Generation got away with telling social stories that were socially relevant, sometimes not so well hidden, other times extremely well hidden in a way that was entertaining. Whereas it's like, I don't know, they kind of beat you over the head with Discovery a little bit here and there. I don't know. Again, I watch it. I actually did enjoy the last half of the first season. The first half of the season, I was like, oh yeah, yeah. The whole Klingon. I still can't get past the redesign on the Klingons and the restructuring of Klingon culture. That bothers me to no end. Klingon culture, if it is set in the prime timeline, is a well-established thing. It is probably the most. They're more established than the Vulcans.
I have to agree with you 100% on that. That is my only, personally, that is my biggest gripe from Discovery.
And that, I mean, maybe, just maybe, they'll make Burnham something.
Augment virus.
So I don't know. They just gotta. She's just not a likable character. I don't know. I mean, it's not. It has nothing to do against. I mean, it's not because it's a woman. It's not because it's a black woman or a woman of color. I'm sorry. I know. I would like to be a little PC on this one, but it's none of that. It's just the character, the way she is written. It's just she's not likable. And if you're gonna center, and she's gonna be the center of it, it was like I could not root for this character when she was doing all that undercover stuff. I was like, please get caught, please get caught. Surprise us and kill her off in the first season. But no. My fucking Shorjo. Oh, poor Shorjo. They ate her. Why'd they have to go and eat her? That's just not right.
Oh,
did I lose you, Badger?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm responding to a text.
Well, there's been some hope though that maybe we'll get some additional stuff in stow for the new Discovery stuff, like maybe another Constitution skin or something.
That'd be nice.
Though I would hope that they don't actually make that another ship. It would be just make it as a skin that isn't locked.
I don't have any of you guys actually seen the models that Novos had at San Diego? The Enterprise one. There's some really good shots floating around on Facebook and on a few of the geeky websites. John East posted a nice one, and there are certain elements that make me go, "Oy," like the big window in the front. Again, the big window in the front was it's.
That's a holdover though from the cage.
But it really, yeah, I realize it was there. There was a window type looking thing in the original model. There was a lit panel in the front of that big module. There are certain elements I was like, okay, I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. But, well, I love the design. I really do. I think they did a great job with it. And it's almost like they took a step backwards if they are explaining that there was a refit in between there somewhere, that they took a step back and then they went forward again. And I don't understand why, but it's definitely the ship that would follow up the NX.
Yeah, but the whole point, and that was made even by the guys who came up with it for like Enterprise D and whatnot, is like the whole point of them doing things that don't look kind of natural like that, like having the straight nacelles, pylons and whatnot in the original Enterprise and whatnot, is because it's made of materials that is vastly superior to what we can conceive of now. It didn't need to be a different way.
True.
And then by the Enterprise D, they've learned stuff, and yet again, it's built with advanced materials kind of thing. So they didn't have to stick to this lineage per se. They could have kept like the straight nacelles if they wanted to, or at least the straight pylons, and the rest of it could have been it's kind of part of a refit, whatever. But whatever. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do.
I'm not going to complain. I'm just the whole aspect of Pike taking over the Discovery, and they've basically said that we are going to see Spock. So I think that was all but confirmed. It's like, please get Zachary Quinto. Please get Zachary Quinto. Play Spock. Please. I think I'm all alone in the room.
I'd be okay with him, but I'd also be okay with someone completely different. I'd be okay either way, to be honest with you.
Well, with the advances in technology,
No,
why not? We got Tarkin.
no, but this is a TV show, though.
Yeah.
Just no.
What, you don't think for one or two episodes they couldn't do that?
I'm sure they could, but it wouldn't be to the quality of Tarkin.
You may file when ready. I honestly, I know a lot of people that say there are certain aspects that it falls into the uncanny valley. I think Tarkin was so well done. There are times where I'm like, I completely forget that it's really not him.
Well, it could also be that people just saying, "Oh, it's Uncanny Valley" because they want to bitch.
True.
In any case,
I've watched that. I actually, when we were in Florida, because we had no internet and I had my iPad, it's one of the few films I have downloaded to my iPad. And I watched that and Last Jedi, or not the Last Jedi, the Force Awakens, and I had a few revelations from the Force Awakens about the Last Jedi, which kind of made me go, "Oh my goodness, that was something I thought I knew, and I didn't know that." But we'll have to talk about that later because I have to go refresh my memory again on some of them because there were a couple of things thrown out in The Force Awakens that all of a sudden made sense with The Last Jedi because I think it's a case of mass memory of something that didn't happen or something that was said that was taken wrong. A lot of it dealt with Rey. There was a lot of stuff that happened about Rey where I was like, oh, wait. So.
Well, I'm assuming we're talking about, Pike and maybe CGing the original one back in.
No, Spock. No,
Oh, with
Spock.
Spock? No, I think they could do it. They certainly got enough video material to work with.
Yeah, I mean they could CG Spock. I mean, but again, Zachary Quinto would just be a better bet.
As a side note,
yeah.
The original Pike who stood in for Hunter in the wheelchair thing, he's still around.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be kind of fun if they just brought him back as maybe as a cameo or something, or he could even just be a bridge officer on Enterprise. No, obviously not in the wheelchair thing.
Beep 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 beep.
But the wheelchair thing would be funny.
Yeah, but
exterminate.
Oh, speaking of Doctor Who.
Why does the sonic screwdriver look like an adult toy?
I got nothing.
Everybody else has had a very, very utilitarian-looking sonic screwdriver. Every single Doctor has had one that actually looked like a tool. We have a female Doctor Who, and now she's got a dildo for a thing.
The last one had, for the first season, for his first season, the last one had, Capaldi had sonic sunglasses. For his first season.
I didn't watch Capaldi at all.
Yeah, for his first season, he had sonic sunglasses, which was completely dumb, in my opinion. But
I sat
like
there.
Capaldi.
I'm sitting there. And I was like, she's like, "Oh, look, it's the Doctors. It's the new Doctors." I was like, "Holy crap, that looks wrong." It's all organic-y looking and stuff. I was like, no. I don't know. Seemed kind of sexist to me, actually. I was like, wait, you finally get a female Doctor, and then you give her this? I was, okay, we'll see. When does her show? When does her show come? When is the first episode?
Oh, I didn't see that. Let me find out.
I don't know. It's just not my bag. So,
well, in my eyes, there is only one Doctor Who, and Tom Baker is him.
It's Tom Cruise.
Everybody's Tom Cruise. Which is why I was so happy when they brought him back for the Day of the Doctors.
Tom Cruise?
No, Tom Baker. And he was so the Doctor.
This fall.
When what's his name? Matt Smith was talking with Tom Baker, who was the caretaker quote unquote. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's the Doctor. It's the Doctor. Don't let him fool you. It's the Doctor, and he knows it.
Yeah, I thought I read somewhere that maybe you just said this because I was watching a trailer. I'm sorry, but from what I heard, he was kind of ignored during that filming.
Baker?
Yeah, they didn't really acknowledge his presence very much while they were filming his scenes. Now, I don't know if that's from the actors or if that's like the set, the crew, but I don't remember where I read that. I mean, I could be dead wrong, but I could have sworn I read something about that.
News to me.
I think I've heard something similar.
Oh.
That may have been debunked too.
Might have been. It could be just baloney.
There's no way any long-running series would treat a previous cast member in such a manner because they all know who was on it before. All you have to do for an example is look at Star Trek.
Yep.
And it's Tom Baker. I mean,
There's no way they didn't know or just wanted to shun him or anything. No, not a chance in hell. Now, could be that they gave him space, just not wanting to crowd him.
I mean, he is an older man. Speaking of older men, we here at Geek EZ would like to extend our best well wishes to Peter Mayhew, who has just undergone spinal surgery.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, to help him get some mobility.
Well, he did a GoFundMe for his knees, as I recall. That was a few years back before, The Force Awakens. He wanted to be able to, be mobile, decently mobile again, so he could play the role. Now he had to get spinal surgery?
Yeah, he had spinal surgery just recently.
It's rough to be that tall.
Yeah. Him and David Prowse both having health issues. One of these days, it will come to light exactly what happened between Lucasfilm and David Prowse.
Or at the very least, George Lucas and Prowse. Because all we've ever gotten is he knows what he did.
And all we've ever gotten from Prowse is, I have no idea what I did. So it's like, what happened in there that I mean, he's not even acknowledged ever. Which is a shame.
I think the closest we've ever gotten is to acknowledging what may have brought it about was something to the effect that he talked in a documentary and it aired dirty laundry, and by what I had read, it wasn't all that bad.
Well, I know there's one on Netflix, a documentary about him and some of the stuff that went down. I don't think I've watched it all the way through. But again, that's only one side of the story. This is like, what happened that would cause... Because everyone else has been kept within the fold or has had some sort of something, whether it's Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, if Alec Guinness was still alive. I mean, sure, he badmouthed it, but he was still there up until his death. I mean, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, all of them have always had good standing that I knew and were welcomed back. I mean, Billy D. Williams came back for Rebels a couple of times. He voices Lando Calrissian in the games.
Well, he's flat out said, though, he'll keep coming back as long as he can.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming from everything that's out there right now. He's coming back for Episode 9. There's also rumors, well, not rumors, but there was talk, and someone actually asked... what's his name? Oh, now I can right off the tip of my tongue. I had it. Timothy Zong about Mara Jade in Episode 9, and he could not confirm or deny because he didn't know whether or not she was going to be in Episode 9. It would make sense. I mean, they brought Thrawn into...
They brought Thong.
Yeah, they brought Thrawn into canon. Why not? And who are the other two they brought into? The two from the comic book.
Well,
The two idiot bumbling
Bag of Dick?
stooges. Yes.
Where?
Well, they were supposed to be in Solo, actually.
If they were, I sure as hell
They
didn't see
filmed
them.
it. They filmed it. It just ended up on the cutting room floor.
Well, doesn't count then.
Well, this isn't Star Trek. Star Trek is if it's on screen. But either way.
Well, let's see. Other things that can be discussed, well, Star Trek related anyway. They're doing all sorts of things. Right now, you got the whole Summer Festival again. And they're definitely following the DS9 deal. Because now you can get baseball-themed uniforms, which is kind of amusing because you get one for Federation, you get one for... Well, there's two for the Federation. The Logicans, the Niners. I can't remember who the other one... There was another one. And then, of course, there's the Liquidators, the Ferengi Liquidators. Which... I still love the comment. It's like, oh, that was terrible. They got a drumming, and they were cheating. You can get emotes. I mean, there's a lot of neat little things that you can acquire, as well as a new ship, of course. But the thing they recently announced was having a movie-accurate Excelsior. And everybody just gets it if you have the Excelsior.
Excelsior. What, you mean that class?
Yes.
Really?
Yep, the class has a movie-accurate skin now.
Both the refit and the original.
I have
The
to
NX.
sign on because I need to go get
Yes.
those skins.
But you're going to have to patch.
Yep, you
Do you
get a
think my
patch.
patch is going to be like 17 gigs?
We'll come back in 3 weeks.
You should really play through the Jem'Hadar stuff, though. It's actually pretty fun. It's worth it.
I'm trying to think what else. Well, I mean, the Excelsior stuff does look really good. I haven't looked at my Excelsior yet.
Oh,
And-
Excelsior!
the Excelsior with Discovery skin. Oh, that deflector. Sexy.
What's wrong with you?
I'm a shipophile. I love ships.
I just finished a commission of a ship.
Speaking of ships, Sean Taranjo's still taking commissions for ships, and he will tell you. So if you want a Ilio of a ship, that's the man to talk to. Little shout out there too.
You can come to
Artist
me,
friend?
but you can come to me, but when it comes to doing ships, to be perfectly honest, I enjoy every once in a while getting a good challenge, which this last one I did was a pretty huge challenge. I can't divulge anything because honestly, I don't own it. The guy who bought it does, so I can't say anything. I'm not just gonna go out there and say, "Hey, look what I did." I can't. I don't do that anymore. I will get permission before I release any information on anything that I do for somebody, because when I get paid for it, if they pay for it, it's theirs. It's theirs to share, not mine. But when it comes to doing that kind of stuff, it's like it's not my cup of tea. I like making creatures.
But you do so well with the ships.
Yeah, I know. I guess.
Well, Firefly's in the chat here, Twitch chat, talking about the emotes for that, but there isn't a pitch emote, which is true. It's true, there isn't one for that. Or Babe Ruth's famous alleged called shot. Nope, there isn't that either. And I don't know if he's got the event ship or not, but he confirms it is the last of the Vorgon trifecta, so there's no more Vorgon ships, which makes sense. It includes one of the few known in-game examples of cast from hit points. He's going to have to explain that one. Oh, he brought a link here about creatures, and oh god, Herc! For those of you who don't play Star Trek Online, the Herc is the latest enemy that you have to fight, and they're very angry bugs. And my god, that's some amazing artwork. concept art, I think. ArtStation's fun for checking out concept artwork.
Yep, it is. Good place to grab ideas.
That's just some beautiful artwork. I couldn't imagine trying to come up with that from an art, an art standpoint, but it looks good. Okay, so Firefly explains. The console ability consumes half your current hit points. It's returned over 10 seconds to inflict radiation damage to a target over the same time frame. Oh, cast from hit points. Makes sense. You sacrifice hit points to screw over a target. And they have released the stats for the new ship that you can acquire from the event. And I should have mine Saturday or Sunday, so I'll be able to talk a little bit about that. But speaking of ships and shipping of ships, shipping of the ships to ship with the shipping.
We're gonna shoot the ship right now.
I just sent you what I did a long time ago.
Who'd you send it to?
You.
Where?
It's in your messages in Discord.
I got nothing.
Should be on the left side, above Geek EZ and 575.
Look at your messages. It's in your messages.
I'm just saying that's where the indicator should be, is on the left side.
I know, but I got no indications.
Then click on home.
I am. There's nothing here.
You have no direct messages from anyone?
No.
Hold on, now we're going to do a technical check. Let's see, let's do a direct.
Oh, wait, there it is.
You got lucky this time.
Oh, look at that.
That was a very long time ago.
Yes, but Badger, why don't you tell us about your shipping ship adventure?
Oh, yes, I shall. So speaking of Star Trek and online.
Also, before he gets into this, we should state for the record, this is not the fault, not entirely the fault of the people who produced it.
This is not GamePrint's fault. I'll say this right off the bat. This is not GamePrint. So, I ordered a ship from GamePrint the day after they announced. Right?
So one of those nice, the pre-increased cost ship from Star Trek Online to get printed, right?
Yes. So, I decided, okay, you know what? I'm just going to dip in a little bit and do it. Just do it, right? So I ordered a version of the Odyssey, which, like I said, is still one of the sexiest things on STO, courtesy of Adam. I decided, let's do it. So I did. Well, as everyone knows, there were issues at first with GamePrint getting some things off the ground, getting there were some issues with nacelles snapping off, nacelles, not being lined up properly, people getting their ships and then they're broken because they're not packaged very well, and that set the company back a little bit. It's from what it seems, and so of course I was worried. Everyone's worried when you have something shipped. So when I found out that my ship was done, painted. It was printed, painted, done, packed, ready to ship. I got excited. So I thought, okay, cool. We got a ship on the way. So I'm watching the tracking on the website, and it's shipping from Warsaw, Poland. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Let's see what happens. So I watch it. Every day I'm logging in to this tracking website and seeing the progress that's being made on the ship, being shipped on the ship. And so as I'm watching, maybe once every other day, there was like a new detail on it. And finally, it sat in Warsaw for, I think, maybe a week and a half, Bob. And so I decided, okay, well, it's, they're probably waiting to send several at a time. All right, so I'll wait a little bit longer. No problem, right? They ship it out, and it gets to New York Customs.
New York?
Yep. You know what? Let me bring up the manifest. Hold on.
Manifest. We need a statement, not a manifesto. The city will be fine.
Well, we kind of
One of
figured
my favorite
they
lines.
saved them for, get a whole bunch of ships to put on the shipping ship. That's why it
Ship
took a
this
while.
ship now.
That ships on a ship that ships ships
And it was cargo.
from a shipping company that ships ships on ships that ship ships using shipping. Okay, so from Warsaw, Poland, on June 21st, it arrived in Warsaw. Or nope, sorry, that was Komorniki. It left their area from Komorniki, whatever that's called, and then 22nd it got to Warsaw. Sat in Warsaw.
You just offended all of our fans from that town.
Yep. So it sat into Warsaw, sat there from June 22nd till, let's see here, until July, let's see here, looks like July 5th is when it left. No, I'm sorry. It left on this 22nd from Warsaw. It arrived in New York in July 2nd into Customs. United States Postal Service Customs. Package acceptance, item held at Customs on the 3rd. And then I noticed I haven't seen any traction on this in a week. I wonder what's going on. So I decided to log in back into the website, and all I see is item arrived in Warsaw, Poland. They shipped it back because there was no paperwork on it. Even though there were probably 15 or 20 other ones that they sent at the same time. So they sent it back.
Or, so they claim anyway.
They claimed. So I decided, okay, well, I'm going to get a hold of GamePrint and see what's going on. And I asked them, and they said, I have no clue. They responded literally the next morning and said, let me do some investigating and I'll figure it out for you. Okay, cool. Well, during that time period, it got sent back to New York. And let's see here. So
on a shipping aircraft.
Yeah. So item arrived. So I noticed on July 2nd, it was received in New York. Then July 14th, it got back in Poland. And then it sat in Poland for 3 more days. And then it arrived back in New York on the 20th. I was like, okay, well, it's back in these states. All right, stateside. The United States Postal Service said they had no clue whose name was on this package. They said my address was not on it. There's nothing there. We have nothing but a tracking number. So I signed up for an account on Postal Service's website and, got expert tracking or whatever it's called. So I assigned my name onto that tracking number so that they had an address. Well, keep in mind, like I said, this has already been almost a month since they originally shipped it the first time. So when it finally got to the postal service, when they shipped it, I think they shipped it back out on a plane because it got back pretty quick after the first time. So when it got here to the United States, or to Minnesota, where I live, They could not physically find my address. They said, are you sure you live there? Did you not just move? No, I moved to this address. Oh, well, we show that you have no way of receiving a package because I live in controlled access. So every single day, which, by the way, I'm a normal person, I work every day, almost every day. So during the times that they would deliver it, I has to be signed. And every day, they said they left a notice, which they did not. So I got the only notice I got was the final notice that said, item will be shipped back to sender tomorrow. I raised holy hell and got super pissed. So I was on the phone with the Postal Service for about 3 hours one day, trying to explain to them that this is my package. I've assigned my name to it, that my name has got to be on it somewhere on the package. And I was fuming. I was absolutely fuming that the Postal Service was, I don't want to say incompetent, but confused. They were super, super confused. They didn't know really what they were doing, to be honest. So I do live in controlled access, which I understand. And so today I decided I'm going to go down to my Postal Service and find out what's going on. I did finally talk to someone, and they said that because it's controlled access, they cannot, I have to have someone present to sign off for it because it's a larger parcel. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, is it at this location? Luckily, it was at that location. And they were going to be sending it out tomorrow morning back to sender. I intercepted it at the right moment. And I talked to the guy, and I said, is my name anywhere on this package? And he looks at it, and he's like, you know what? There's 3 labels on here with your name and your complete address on here. I don't know why this got sent back the first time. I don't know why people are having an issue with this. He's like, what? Did you try to call our location? I said, I called your location 4 times. Nobody would ever answer. He's like, that's very strange. So I now have that postal guy's office number in case I have issues like this again. So one thing to keep in mind, if you order something from GamePrint, and like I said, this has nothing to do with GamePrint. This is not their fault. This is the Postal Service. If you are not present for the package, now I don't know how this works, if it's for homes or not, but if you're in an apartment that you're in controlled access, you are better off ordering your ship. Once it gets to the Postal Service's website and you get a tracking number for the United States Postal Service, set it up so that you can pick it up at a Postal Service location. That is my advice.
Which honestly is the best way to go about it, period, for things like that. I mean, in my case, I live on a 2nd-story apartment. UPS can't get to me, and it's just a real pain in the ass anyway. So the best thing to do is I have the app for them. I just say, hey, it's ready to be sent to you. It's going to be sent in the blah, blah, blah time. And click, 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 quick, send it to this location. I will pick it up. I will always pick it up because it's just far less of a hassle. Now, the Postal Service can get into my apartment area and, drop stuff off, and they do. But there are times where you just have to be like, I have a tracking number. I'll go to their website, and it's real simple to do. You go to the website, plug in the tracking number, and you can tell, put in a little notation deal, hold at facility.
Yep. Reschedule a delivery. Go to reschedule a delivery, and there's a little scroll down menu that says deliver or pick up at office location. And you can choose which one, and which was very helpful because it just happened to be the one it was already sitting at anyway. But I got really lucky today because they were about to send it back to Poland. Again. And it let me tell you, though, out of all the headache that this has cost me in anxiety and trouble and issues after moving from one state to another, in between ordering this ship and getting it, it is beautiful. It is, and I am blown away at how beautiful some of these look, and especially mine. And let me tell you, if you're worried about shipping, if you're worried about the packaging, don't be. This thing came like... I have never seen more packing on anything in my entire life. And the outside of my box looked like it had been around the world, which it's been halfway around the world twice. But still, it looked like it had been around the world. I opened the box up. It's in pristine condition. The game print box itself is in beautiful condition. They did a A+ job on shipping it on their end. I can't say enough about how wonderful their customer service is. They have done a very wonderful job in ETH. I can't say for everyone, but I'm impressed. They did a good job.
They were also highly entertained by your comment about the shipping of the ships.
Yes, I made a comment about my ship being shipped to another, back to the shipping location on a ship that ships while it's shipping a ship.
That's
And
a lot of ship.
They thought it was pretty funny.
I ship you not.
Like I said, if you have one on the way, you had the original introductory price. Just be patient. That's all I ask, is be patient. They are working their ass off. It's worth it. It's worth the wait. It's good. The new price, I don't know. That's a little out there, but overall, I'm impressed with it.
You got pictures?
I do. And I posted them to the Discord here in general.
In general.
It's above Don Burritos thingy.
Yeah, it is a very pretty ship. I had put in an order myself, because mostly though out of curiosity. I did not buy the big one because I have bills. $500 some odd dollars for the high end one. That's more than my rent. So what I decided to go with was the other option they have, which you can get like the 4-inch option. It's like $20 with tax and everything included. That comes out to about almost $30. Okay, fine. I'll run with it. It's more expensive than a WizKids ship, but I'm willing to bet it's going to look a lot better than a WizKids ship. And the funny thing is that they sent me a notification. It's like, all right, your ship, it will be sent or processed and or produced like October 23rd and shipped as soon as possible within 3 to 6 weeks. All right, so it might be December when I get it. Not a day later, I got a notification. Good news! Because of improvements in production, we've moved up the date that your ship will be produced. Guess what day it will be?
The day before it was supposed to.
Why, yes, it's going to be the 22nd of October. I'm like, why'd you even bother? I mean, I appreciate you telling me, but all the same, it's like, doesn't change anything.
Badger, how big is that again?
12 inches.
Really? I thought it was to 13.
Let me go with tape measure.
Because they were saying it's over a foot in length for the ships.
Come on, I deserve one of these, right? I should just get one, right? Just give me the F. Just
talk to Cryptic.
Somebody just F me.
Just talk to Cryptic.
Didn't they actually give you one?
Yeah, I've got. Oh, please, the what I got compared to these, the nacelle. I got the little statue with the little plaque on it that says it's got the Enterprise on it, kind of, sorta, and. Let's see, the nacelles are slightly bent on it, like the pylons, and the actual nacelles themselves. All they did was make one and then copy it and then just put it on the other side. So it's not reversed. So the wings are on both sides.
Yeah, so what they did was you got the first batch, which
this was years ago. No, this was years ago.
They weren't even doing the 3D print.
They weren't even doing 3D prints. This is an actual bronze. This is like a metal casting.
Oh.
I have statue. I actually have a statue.
Oh.
Like an award.
Hold on, I see a tape measure in sight. We're back.
So yeah, the ones that they 3D print should be about the size of that 10 of 4 that I sent you way back.
Yeah, that's a nice size. I would, yeah, but I'm not
That's about
dropping. I'm not dropping a month's rent just because.
no, I wouldn't either. I mean, hell, the 10 of 4 is, if I remember right, over 100.
That's
And it
not
ain't
what
that
you
much.
spent on that one, though.
No, I was one
No.
of the pre-orders, and for the one I sent you, the one I bought for me was a pre-order deal, and the one I got you was on sale.
Yes, because it is pretty. I mean, it looks gorgeous.
I mean, arguably, you're not supposed to tell people, "Oh, I spent less on you," but dude,
I even asked. I was
what
like,
sent you.
"Please tell me you did not spend full price on this thing." I was
So-
like, I would have sent it back. I was like, you can't send me this. There's no way I'm gonna. There's no way I could draw something to make up for that kind of stuff.
Then
So
you have to make something.
tip to tip, it is exactly 12 inches.
That's what she said.
I knew that was coming.
You
Don't
know,
you say it?
I've never heard her say that, but I mean,
Tip to tip. You got a serious problem if you're going tip to tip. How,
yeah,
Man.
yeah,
how do you have a tip to tip, man?
yeah. I mean, you get a point there.
Oh,
But I'm Tish.
that's not how that works.
Wait, are we talking about girth?
Please put your tray or your seat backs forward. I don't bend that way. What?
And we
Oh.
just got to an M rating.
No. We're not there yet, but give us time.
This is
Because
why
I'm
we need
about to
this is
fix
why
that.
we need a female voice on the show, so we kind of curb some of these things.
Oh, you're kidding me? They're just as bad.
I
In
know
some
they
cases,
are.
some of them are worse.
So which configuration is that? Is that the new one? The new Odyssey? That's not the Odyssey. That's the new one with the
It's one of
forward
the-
swept nacelles.
It is the Sojourn hull, which, by the way, I love the circular design of the deflector. I've always been a huge fan of it, even from the Enterprise A. But the original saucer, the forward swept pylons from, I think, the Yorktown,
I think it's your time. Yeah.
and the original nacelles.
If I ever manage to save up enough scratch to buy one of these, I'd be curious to see if there's much difference, because I got a slightly different configuration. Like I use the swing back
Yes.
pylons, I believe. I'll be curious to see if it's actually longer than 12
I
or
just
not.
want the F.
No, it won't be. It'll be 12 inches.
It will be 12 inches.
It'll be scaled down a little bit.
inches.
Now, mine was named the USS Enceladus after a moon, and now the writing on it is kind of tiny, to the point where maybe that's like my only gripe.
Now, question: is this surface smooth? Is it rough? Is it like how 3D prints are kind of meh
At the stepping,
sometimes?
he has to check. He's feeling up his ship, guys.
They're pretty smooth. I would say they did a really good job overall. Overall, it's just really well done. Like, I mean, even the base comes on. Even the base has like fabric on the bottom, like you would get when you get a really expensive collectible of some kind. It's
Like
got fabric
felt.
at the bottom, yeah, like felt. It's just, like I said, A+. This is beautiful. I have, okay, maybe there's like one other gripe. There's a teeny tiny little dot. It's on one of the pictures. Hold on. Actually, yeah, the first one. If you look at the first picture, right behind the shuttle bay, in between the shuttle bay and where the Aquarius launches off, you'll see a little like imperfection, kind of along the black, on the right side of the black line where the windows are. You'll see like a weird little imperfection there. Do you see that, Adam?
No, I do not. Hold on.
The picture's not quite that big, dude.
Yeah,
So
it's not big enough.
It doesn't quite get into that, and that was just, yeah, we need to stop.
Click the link.
Even clicking the link, it doesn't get that much bigger. Damn it.
Anyway, that's probably my only gripe, and it was where the tape was. Now, what it looks like to me is they put the tape on before the paint was 100% dry. And it took a little bit off there. And to be honest, it's not that big a deal. I can touch it up with some paint myself. So, all in all, I'd say maybe not an A+, but a solid A. A solid A.
Excellent. Well, now that we've had that diatribe. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
It's 10:30. What else we got?
well, I got there's a movie that's coming out we can talk about. But before we get that, can't quite finish the Stowe discussion here. So there's a bit of a glitch they supposedly fixed in Stowe. Here's the thing: you float around on your float or whatever, and if you happen to land in the wrong spot, you will suddenly find yourself able to walk on air. And by walking, I mean I gotta go fast. I am Sonic the freaking Hedgehog. This happened to me after they supposedly had fixed it. And I was like, hey guys, it's still broken. If you hit jump, you actually tilt back and go up. You can not walk back down, though. You just can only keep going up, or it will eventually lean back forward to a stand-up position, and you literally run around everything. We did a race with it. We went from the top mountain in Ryza to the resort, and it was Alistair in his superior floater, which is pretty damn good, and I left him in the dust. Now, here's the other funny thing, though. If you have the Phoenix model where you can launch the rocket, it will let you launch it from, midair. And if you happen to hit jump before you did that, you'll be angled back, and then you go to launch the rocket. You will go to launch the rocket. You'll stand back up, as it were, leaning back, and that rocket is right down where the boys are. And I took pictures.
I uploaded a screenshot of the imperfection in general.
So yeah, if you go to the cantina, you will see me in midair with two others around me and floaters, and then my rocket.
Oh, speaking of summer event.
Hold on. I want to hear Adam's reaction here. Actually, I don't even know I heard your reaction. You should go to the cantina and look. Also discovered you can almost die on Ryza. Supposedly that was another thing they had fixed so that you would just gently float down. Yeah, there was no gentle floating down when I managed to fix the thing.
You got a rocket. You all rocket it out.
And that's to scale, my friends.
You know what really, the models, they still bother me in that game. I realize it's an online game, but they really just...
The models of what? The characters, or?
Yeah. They're so bland.
Well, they've got some age to them now, so I'm hoping that maybe their next big project, since they've pretty much updated all of the movie ships to look like their movie counterparts, that they'll start working on updating textures for characters and such. That would be no small thing, though. There's a lot of textures in the game. And I do see that little imperfection now.
Imperfections.
I don't even know why there would be tape, though.
Believe me, this bitch was tied down.
Oh, you mean talking within the package? Okay, I got you.
Yeah. There was no jostling or moving around in this package.
You know what? For the amount of money that you spend, though, that right there would make me send that sucker back. I'd be like,
I-
nope, sorry.
I do a lot of painting though.
It doesn't. For what about for people who don't? They just pay. They just
Where do you
paid
paint?
a pretty hefty price for this painted model, and it comes with a nick that big in it.
With as
That's
much
pretty significant.
with as much shipping headache as I went through, I'm okay. I don't
I'd
want
be
to
like,
deal
what
with
do
the
you
United
call
States
this
Post.
ship?
I don't want to deal with the United States Postal Service again for a while.
As a side note, though, maybe you should at least tell GamePrint about it, and they can change their packing method.
Yeah.
Because they did want to know.
Yes, I would send them that photo and say, what's this ship? This ship don't fly.
God dang it! I'm
Puns are
done.
free. The puns are free, folks. So, other things we can just let's see. Oh, the pads, the shoulder pads thing. Like, we talked a little bit about Shazam, right?
We did.
Yeah, about the shoulder pads. Well, there's somebody else who's got amazing shoulder pads. She-Ra, the new one. That's that's the only thing about that design that throws me off, that I'm not a big fan of, is the big pointed shoulder pads. Like, that's weird. Everything else about it, no, I'm cool.
Still trying to figure out why she looks like a 12-year-old girl. It's my only thing. I was like, I don't know. I saw this big controversy. It's like, oh, she's not this, she's not that. I was like, yeah, but she's supposed to at least be. First off, why the pseudo anime look? That drives me nuts. I really think this pseudo anime that's all over the place is just getting out of hand. She looks like Sailor Moon,
Maybe that's what they're going for.
but it's She-Ra,
Yes, but the
but
point
not
being
Sailor
is,
Moon.
yes, but a lot of girls, do like Sailor Moon. They know who they're marketing to.
Yes, that's true.
If they're not marketing to the fanboys who are just a waste of time, who have been kicking up a stink,
Well, yeah, because she's not sexy enough.
she's not supposed to be.
Cartoon character. It's cartoon character. But then there's the other aspect of she should at least look like a she. Now it's funny. I've seen stuff from the cartoon outside of her She-Ra outfit. She's got a slightly feminine form, whereas in the She-Ra outfit, she's just straight lines. Now I was like, is that just a really tight outfit, or
Might be more of an armor thing.
True. Either way, I mean, it's not my cup of tea. Then again, She-Ra was never my cup of tea. I'm not a girl. I was not the market audience.
Which is fine. That's perfectly acceptable.
I had He-Man. My sisters had She-Ra. That's all good. And every once in a while, they crossed over, like that horrific Christmas episode.
Well, like I said, the only thing about the new design that really threw me off was this Vegeta-esque or Saiyan-esque early DBZ pointed shoulder pad thing. It's like, why does she need that?
I don't know why we needed a new She-Ra cartoon, but
Well, we never need a new thing. We just get them. And sometimes it turns out it's great, like Voltron.
true.
And this might turn out to be a great thing too.
That wasn't something we wanted. That was something we needed.
Did you see the revelation that what's his name is gay on Voltron?
No.
That what's the name palette, the main paladin dude? What's his name?
What,
Dude with the
Shiro?
white hair. The new guy.
Shiro?
Yeah. It's like, was there any doubt?
Not really.
Sure?
He never showed any of that.
Yeah,
I wasn't really concerned with
yeah, I really don't
their
think anybody really
sex orientation.
was. But
The
that's
sexuality never came up. Matter of fact, sex in general never came up. The only one who
again.
kind of flirted was Lance.
But
No, the only one.
This is today's society. It has to be brought up. You have to have representation, and it has to be known, or else it's not real.
The only one that actually threw me off, and by throw me off, like I didn't see it coming, was Pidge.
Oh yeah,
Really?
That was it. I didn't see it coming.
That one was kind of released pretty early.
but
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't expect it. But
It's-
it was a welcome surprise. I just didn't expect
it was a confirmation, and blah blah blah. And I laughed. They made this big stink about it. It was like, And seriously, there were so many people and fans who were like, okay, first off, it really wasn't that big of a stretch. And second off, who cares?
It's a cartoon.
It really wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah. It's
Now-
like, okay.
Now, would I eventually like to see her down the road? Sure, it'd be great. We'd like to see all of them down the road. It's like what happens when they're, because of the way the series is gone, how will they disband? Will they go down into different paths and there'll be a new Voltron Force? I don't know. I'd like to see what they do beyond this point. Because at this point, it kind of seems like it's done. I
haven't finished the season yet.
I said it kind of seems like it. We don't know. I think they're probably going to have another season, but
Yeah, they've already confirmed another season.
yeah,
It's coming out in the fall.
I'm okay with this. Please continue. Give me more.
Speaking of, Kunlun.
Oh, come on.
I
I haven't even watched Luke Cage 2 yet.
I'm
good.
about 4 episodes in. It's good. I think it's just as good as the first season. I love Luke Cage. The actor, fantastic. But I love Luke Cage.
I just like the music.
but-
The music in the first one was good.
Yeah,
The main
this
antagonist is
one's good.
fantastic.
Yeah, the main villain he's really good. I was very questioning it, like, come on, really? Another snake name? And I'm like, oh wait, that's right, Luke Cage has the Serpent Society. Well,
In this case, it
he
wasn't that.
Yeah, but eventually he probably will. But you realize when I saw what villain they chose, I'm like, really? Okay. Then I saw who they chose for the role, and I'm like, really? I'm not all that excited for it. And then I started watching him act, and I'm like, damn, this guy's really good. This guy is really, really good with what he's doing. And so he introduces an element to the show that I think is just fantastic.
Well,
I haven't finished it yet.
You know what I can definitely recommend? And I was quite surprised. Black Lightning. It's on Netflix.
Weren't you the one who was actually poo-pooing it?
I was just like, I was poo-pooing it just because it looked, the costumes were, I mean, they're very much the DC TV, the Arrowverse costumes, but the show itself, I binge watched it. I watched it all in one day. I was like, wow, the guy they got playing Tobias Whale, oh, yeah, it's definitely it. It is a of the CW shows, which I'm guessing now they actually are bringing Black Lightning into the Arrowverse fold. I guess there's going to be a crossover, and they're all going to be in it, and they're bringing Batwoman into it as well.
I'll have to watch it then.
But Black Lightning was actually a very well done show, and it's done in a way very much like Luke Cage was. Now it's hard for me to sit there and say this because I am a white man, and these are shows with African American actors and characters and stuff like that. So, but on it was urban without being over the top, stereotypically urban. You know what I mean? In some ways, I mean, especially when you have like people who are white writing urban shows. But it was just really well done, and the guy playing Black Lightning plays a perfect older superhero who's gotten out of the biz and all that kind of stuff, and it's really well done that way. But the actor playing Tobias Whale, oh, he plays it just so straightforward and just like, yep, do not mess with this dude.
Well, what I was going to mention about Kunlun, your favorite phrase, favorite place. I heard you want to go on vacation there.
Yeah, but it's missing now. Can't find Kung Lung.
We'll help you find it.
We'll ship you there on a shipping ship.
You shut your mouth. I heard that the fight scene director or the fight scene choreographer from Black Panther is actually doing all the fight scenes, is choreographing all the fight scenes in the next Iron Fist.
So much a better. I mean, as long as Iron Fist actually gets to win a fight in the second season,
and use more than one hand.
Yeah,
he's never really been doing more than one hand, though,
I really want to see Luke Cage and Iron Fist in the same show for an entire season, not just Defenders. Defenders was good. I love Defenders.
Heroes for Hire.
Yes, we need the heroes for hire, though.
Now, I got a question.
They're buddies.
Is not the big deal. He's got like a dragon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his powers come from him having
The dragon.
The dragon, right?
Yeah.
So his lack of powers in the first season was a reptile dysfunction, right?
As a side note, Badger, you're gonna get
You
your wish.
come on.
That was good.
It
That
was
I'll give you
good.
that. I'll give you that. That was good.
Yeah, Badger, you're gonna get your wish. At least for an episode, and it's amazing.
For
Of
wait.
what?
Wait, he's in it.
And the chemistry is so much better. That's all I'm leaving it at.
They were.
Yeah, I
they
knew
were,
he was in.
They got along really well offset or off camera in Defenders. They got along really well off camera from what we heard too. So, when you have two actors have really good chemistry together, it makes for a much better TV show. But you also end up with issues like Downey Jr. and Tom Holland not getting anything done, like Avengers.
You know what? Speaking of the
Is he
Avengers,
pranking everyone?
it comes out on digital next week, and it actually comes out in 5 days on digital. 6 days, yeah, next week. And then it comes out on Blu-ray 2 weeks after that. And as much as I disliked the movie and was just kind of felt meh about it, being the completist I am, I have to buy it.
Of course you do.
Seriously, I mean, it was like one of those not even getting kissed afterwards.
Again, I think your opinion is going to change once we get the second one, but we will see when that comes out.
I hope so.
It was all a plot to. Make Death fall in love with him, and everyone will be happy.
Oh, and I guess people are all up in arms because Coulson's not returning for the next season.
What?
He retired, as it were. The character's
He's
going to
dead.
die.
Well, he'll be back, but he's directing the first episode.
Yeah, he's totally directing.
Yeah, Clark Gregg. He's not going to walk away from it completely.
He'll come back.
That's his baby.
He'll be like, ba-da-bum-ba-da.
Yeah, but as of right now, I mean, he only had a certain amount of time anyway, so he did.
I would really like to see the return of Deathlock.
Coulson will come back, and he'll come back at like this great moment where it's like, I'm back!
Oh, yeah. That whole death thing, I shrugged it off again.
Yeah.
How? Don't worry about it. We'll cover it in another season.
And obviously, we're going to I think we should probably wait again for Alistair, but I did see Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
Really?
It was okay.
You didn't think it was better than the first one?
No. It
Really?
wasn't worse.
Oh,
but
okay.
I wouldn't say it was better. It was about equal.
It was a thoroughly enjoyable movie for me.
I will say it was a very good palate cleanser.
It's a very family oriented, and yes, it was much lighter and whatnot. And there was definitely parts of it that I really, really enjoyed, like doing what they did in the first film with what's his name, which I can't think of it, Michael
Douglas?
No, not Michael Douglas. I think there's two Michaels.
Penna?
Yeah.
Penna?
Where he was
Pena.
where he was basically retelling everything, and they did scenes where the actual actors played out, and it's like they had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, especially the interrogation scene with Michael Pena. The T.I. is looking at him like, dude, just let him tell the story. He'll get there.
It's too late. It is like, damn, you've opened it. You got to let it go.
You just got to let him go, man. Just let him do it.
And Michelle Pfeiffer as Janet Van Dyne? Yes.
Loved it.
And you know what? I will say this. I mean, I've always had a soft spot for Michelle Pfeiffer, but I'll
be honest. I was kind of hoping, because I know there was a push by Michael Douglas, I was kind of hoping it would be Catherine Zeta-Jones. Not that I have anything against Michelle Pfeiffer. She did great for the role.
I could see that too.
Yeah, she probably
I could see her doing well on that role too.
But as casting, if you're going for look, Michelle Pfeiffer could be what's her name's mother.
Yeah, I see that too.
Yeah, I mean, I won't disagree with that. Like I said, I'm Nothing against Michelle Pfeiffer's casting. It was a good cast. I just admit I was kind of open because I haven't seen her and Catherine Zeta-Jones in a film in a while.
She used the Force.
Oh man, the scene where he was not him was hilarious.
Yes.
And and they played that so straight.
Yes. They played it to the point where they played it in a way where everybody forgot, which was kind of funny. It's like they just kind of accepted it and they went with it, and it was like, oh, okay, Scott's not here right now.
You have to know when that comes out on DVD, there's probably going to be a lot of bloopers where they screw that up, or they play it up where Michael Douglas is like, it's been a while, honey.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah, I'm just like, they would literally just be playing it up. But who knows? I guess we'll see.
Did you happen to see, Adam, I'm sure you have, being the nerd you are, I'm sure you saw the very end final credit scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was... I was
slightly
waiting for
upset
it.
about it.
I was just waiting for it, though, because think about it. If he ends up being trapped in there, who's going to get him out? Or is he going to get himself out?
He's gotten himself out before.
True.
Though he's in the new suit, so he might not be able to.
I think it'd be kind of cool to have him absorb some of the energy and be able to kind of control it without the suit.
That'd be an interesting take. I don't think any of them have done that before. Oh, no, that's not true, because in the comics, Pym could actually do it without a suit.
Yeah. Yep, and then so could Scott Lang.
And so could Janet.
Tardigrades. Why did it have to be tardigrades?
I kind of thought that was an entertaining.
That was a nice touch. I liked it.
But why were they in the quantum realm?
Because they're tiny. Tardigrades are tiny.
Yeah, they're super tiny, dude.
But they're not quantum realm tiny.
Apparently these are.
They weren't in the quantum realm yet. Remember, he was going through stages.
Yeah, he hadn't reached it yet.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten to quantum realm yet.
So, yeah, I was a little sad that all three of them bit it, but...
Yeah, I didn't expect all three of them to bite it. I expected maybe Michael Douglas and Janet, or not Janet,
Pfeiffer.
Hope to go, and then have what's her name? Jesus, Janet.
Jesus Christ, man!
What's her face?
Have Janet and have Janet stay behind and get him out, and then you have interaction between those two characters who have had no interaction at all. And it'd be interesting to see. It would have been interesting to see those two play off each other.
So, timeline-wise, this movie takes place how long after? 2 years after Civil War?
Yes, 2 years after Civil War.
And
it kind of happens about the same time as
Infinity War.
Infinity War is going on. That's why
exact same time.
Is it at the exact same time?
Exact same time.
Huh.
That's why it's only basically 2-3 days took place.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 3 days.
That's how they can bring Coulson back.
From the quantum realm.
No, the Thanos thing. When everybody comes back, they're gonna bring Coulson back. Watch.
Because they've already bring Quicksilver back too.
They've already established in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that Thanos is attacking Earth at the end of the 5th season. Or the whatever the season.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was just happening as that season ended. So we didn't get to see anybody go poof.
I must have missed that because I did watch the last episode. I don't recall seeing that.
He mentioned it by name. He goes, Thanos is already attacking your planet. No. And it didn't take that much time between those episodes.
Now, also remember, too, the Runaways. Now, from what like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear that someone said that the Runaways were confirmed part of the cinematic universe.
They are.
So that'll be interesting to see how season 2 plays out.
Then if it's all time. I mean, if they really are still connected the way. I mean, what's his name? The dude, the head alien guy there. He was like, you have no idea what's coming. Thanos is already here. He said it. He actually said it. And I was like, oh, wow, big name drop. And they were like, well, we got our own things to deal with and blah, blah, blah. And they kept mentioning what was happening in New York. And then the season ended. And I would have guessed the season ended right before the snap.
As I recall, the season ended just as, the aircraft flies overhead, and that's it. At the beach where they dropped off Coulson. Now, again, maybe I missed it.
I got to go back and watch it.
Because I didn't catch any of that.
Thanos was mentioned. The attack, the actual what the big attack was, is all there. It's all laid out, as in it all still ties together. I was like, holy crap! It really all does still tie together. And perhaps, yeah, with the snap, Coulson goes poof, and they all go poof, and some of them go poof, and some of them don't.
Well, I guess in Infinity War 2, that's how we get Trip back.
Oh yeah!
How we get who back?
Trip.
It's a Wolfie and Adam thing. They got a man crush.
He was like the best character on the show.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that you guys got a pretty hard man crush.
He was. I mean, because in all honesty, I really am like a big fan of Falcon in the Avengers stuff. I wish they gave him more to do. Because, I mean, I just watched Civil War today. I had it on in the background while I was working. And it was just like, man, Falcon just rocks. Why did he not get more to do?
Maybe they didn't cut it.
You know who I want to come back? Agent Ward.
Oh, dude. We need to bring Sitwell back just to throw him in front of another truck.
I know, right?
We need a punishment room to chuck Badger into. Oh, before we go away, though, I mean, there's a mention of like JJ and whatnot, the JJ verse. Speaking of JJ, what the hell is up with that Overlord film? What's going on in that? I thought it was going to be set on World War II, as in Operation Overlord, and then it went into some really weird direction entirely.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What Overlord film?
I guess that's
a Comic-Con thing?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it was. I just know that's one of the few trailers I've actually seen, and I got mesmerized because Fitz is in it.
Really?
Yeah, Fitz is one of the characters, or one of the actors playing a character in it. It's set in World War II, and it definitely looks like they're doing Operation Overlord. And then there's vampires.
The only
Nazi vampires
thing I've seen was the one with Steve Carell and the dolls, which so looks like a must-see.
Let me see. Overlord, 2018 film, upcoming American horror war film.
Vampires in World War II. Like Nazis weren't bad enough.
Oh, no, hold on. The plot follows several American soldiers who get stuck behind enemy lines after D-Day and discover secret Nazi experiments. So it's not quite vampires.
Zombie Nazis.
Kinda? The premise here is that
there's no way to combine those two, because it would just be zombie. Or Nazi.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a Zazie.
Zazie! I'm a Zazie, guys.
Fabulous.
Premise: on the eve of D-Day during World War II, U.S. paratroopers drop behind enemy lines to infiltrate a small village. They realize the Nazis are experimenting with supernatural forces to fight them. That's it.
Dun 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 dun.
Right? It's a
Harrison
supernatural.
Ford shows up.
Speaking of which,
that would be great.
they're talking about filming in 2020 for Indiana Jones.
Oh, before you get into that, Firefly commented about what you were talking about, and he's calling it Call of Duty Zombies, the movie.
There you go. I love Harrison Ford as an actor. But 75 is going to be a little old to be playing Indiana Jones.
He was old enough in the Kingdom Crystal Skull.
And it's like Stallone coming back at 73 and playing Rambo.
I'm okay with his role in Creed.
Yes,
like,
as the mentor.
Sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
but because he is now Mickey, and that's all good. Except he's like, hey, yeah, so Mickey used to tell me. It's like, you're Rocky now. Stop talking about Mickey. Be Rocky. But
That is actually a good way to
I don't
pass on the mantle of Rocky. You
but
know?
yeah, it is very well done. I really enjoyed Creed, and I really look forward to the next one. And but Harrison, I it's like, yeah, kind of old. Is it fun to go back and revisit characters that are like old friends? Yeah, but what can they do with them? I mean, we've already established that the 1950s he was doing the sci-fi alien thing. I mean, are they going to go into the 60s and do the schlock? Because it's been 10 years since Kingdom's Crystal Skulls, right?
Has it?
Was that 2007, 2008? It was one of the first Blu-rays.
2008. Yeah, that was 2008.
I think
So
it
it's
was
been
like
10 years. So if it was 1953 or 54, then I mean he's in the 60s now. Great, he's going to go on an acid trip.
so.
and then he
I
just
think
they CG him back into his youth, and he thinks he's young again.
I think it's also Shia LaBeouf's like final, like final appearance before he went psycho nuts.
Please don't
Isn't
bring
it?
him back. Don't bring him back.
You know, I think we need an Eagle Eye too.
He hasn't gone psycho nuts. He's still doing stuff.
He actually wasn't half bad in Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye was actually a really good film.
Yeah, that was actually a really good film.
I don't think he made it a good movie though.
No,
I think
No.
she made it more of a good movie. That actress, what was I can't think of her name.
but he wasn't terrible.
No,
He's not a terrible actor. It's just he's got to get the right role. It's just like, you know, it's just like Tom Cruise. Like they keep pushing him for everything, and it's like, just stop. You know, stop. He's done. There's some roles he's really good in, like Last Samurai. Oh my God, he was fantastic. I think in that role.
I don't know.
And some
Ethan
people
Hunt
disagree.
is a fine character. I don't mind the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, the Mission Impossible movies, good example.
The
He's
Mummy movie.
fantastic in those.
The Mummy movie was kind of meh.
Yeah, that was terrible. You know, like I said, he's an actor that needs certain roles. Kind of like Brendan Fraser, he needs certain roles.
Whatever happened to Brendan
Otherwise,
Fraser?
yeah, he had bad depression for a while.
I thought something got like some charges were brought against him and something.
I don't remember if there's
Someone
charges.
made allegations or something towards him or about what he did or something, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared. And it's a shame though because I liked him as an actor.
All I know is that after the last Mummy movie that he made, his life went downhill. I don't know details.
He phoned
I can
that
look it
whole
up
movie
later.
in. He so phoned that movie
I
in.
know. That was a bad
Tank, have
one.
you seen Tom Cruise's Mummy?
I have not.
Oh, I don't want to spoil it for you then.
You're not going to spoil a thing, dude. I don't care.
Okay. There was
really don't.
I really did like the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde twist. I really thought that.
That's what they say. Had they brought Brendan Fraser in for the new Mummy movie, I'd have been like, all right, I'll go see it. I would have loved to have seen Brendan Fraser in that movie because I love Brendan Fraser. He was a fantastic actor, like I said, but he needed the right role.
In Firefly, I don't know when people will stop conflating allegation with facts. But
So I had to look up a little bit on Brandon Fraser. Yeah, he 2003 is where things kind of
they went south.
Yeah, he alleged back then he was sexually assaulted by Philip Burke, the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. And that incident, and he got divorced as well, launched him into a depression, which combined with health issues and backlash within the industry over speaking out against Burke, he believed caused his career to decline. And because of the stunts he performed in his action roles, he's had to undergo several surgeries over 7 years, including a partial knee replacement, a laminectomy, or however you pronounce that. Ugh, I'm just reading about that. That does not look good. It's on the back. And vocal cord surgery. So yeah, he's had some issues.
I know he's working on a project as of recently. I don't know what that project is. I just know he's trying to get back into it. He's trying to slowly work his way back into acting.
Well, if it's true, this allegation that his claim that so and so basically blacklisted him, and he's just now kind of getting back into things. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I do see here he's in The Field, that's in post production, and Behind the Curtain of Night. Oh, he was fantastic in what television show was that? Texas Rising. He was fantastic. If you have not watched Texas Rising, you should. It was amazing. They had some really good They had a really good cast for Texas Rising.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well-
Bill Paxton was in it. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Let's see. Jeremy Davies, Crispin Glover, and of course, and Brandon Fraser. There's just go watch Texas Rising. Totally worth it. I will
It's on
always
the
be
list.
playing it up.
It's on the list. But it is 11 o'clock, and we should call it a night.
Yep, it's definitely night. It's dark out there.
I'm not even going to say last call. I'm just going to say the bar's closed. Because the bar's closed.
Oh,
Because if I say last call now after the bar's closed, it's just going to be like, we'll be here for another half hour.
Yep.
No, we've covered all of the things that we actually
Yeah.
kind of found while we were waiting for you to return from your endeavors in the Florida.
I mean, there's
Area.
still more, but we'll wait till we have till everybody's here. We can yell and scream at each other for an hour.
That's boring.
Yeah.
Unless
but-
you're suggesting that's from sex, in which case that's just weird.
Whoa. Where'd that go?
You said yelling and screaming, man. You
0
could
to
go,
60.
hey, yelling and screaming. It could go either direction with that phrase.
You went
Don't tell
left
me that
field
ain't
on
right.
that one.
No. Some of the films we've seen out there, it can go in either direction. Don't tell me it can't.
All right. Well, I'm going to say good night, everyone who's out there listening. Firefly, as always, thank you for being part of the crew, as it would be.
Yes, and we actually do have a small announcement. We're going to have Adam Withers and Comfort Love join us again next week, and they're going to discuss about a contest that they're currently part of. So they'll explain how that all works and some other stuff. Talk geeky stuff like they do.
I can try to convince them that The Last Jedi was actually a pretty good movie.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm going to enjoy that discussion.
That should be very fun. But either way, I mean, I'm not gonna. No, I would never. If someone doesn't like something, they don't like it. That's fine, as long as they don't berate others who do. Let's see. That being said, I won't even go to it. Never mind. Okay. Warning: playable hurt ship incoming. Thank you, Firefly. We're saying goodnight. Say goodnight, guys.
Good night, guys.
Later.
Hasta lumbago, and we're gone. No closer, no nothing. I'm just saying goodbye. Goodbye, farewell, so long.